On this episode, we watch Sumatsu no Izetta.
Finally, some Yuri to combat all this yaoi stuff we've been doing.
Hail Hydra.
Oh, you like snakes, huh?
I'm a snake.
Oh, you. Who picked those animes?
Dude.
It was me.
Yeah.
Play us out.
Hi guys, and welcome back to an episode of the Daijou Crew. This is your host Sigurd. As always, are with me. I'm terrible at this sentence. That was terrible English.
That's
But-
okay. Your boon companions are
Yeah,
here
my
for
boon
you.
companions are
We're
here.
here
to help
for
me
you.
with our
We're
grandma.
your moral support.
It has been a while since we took our little mini break.
Hey, we're back.
Yeah, we are back. And
We never left.
well, for you, hopefully. I mean, okay, let's be honest. We've been a little bit bad about releasing some of the episodes in the past, but we're trying our best to make sure to get on this regular schedule. But those two voices you heard are very familiar voices. As I said, with me are my two companions, my boon companions, my scruffy, lovey-dovey companions.
Wow.
I
thought we were getting away from
from
the
the
I
Yuri
just messed
stuff.
that up. I'm so sorry. There's just so
Gotta
much
bring
love.
it back.
There's so much love in this
Yeah.
room right now. But how about you introduce you guys?
Well, my name is Julian, and I am the last witch.
Ooh, the last witch, huh?
Yes.
Witch, but not wish. But that was close.
Well, I am Wa, the Vietnamese rebel.
Okay.
Okay.
You know, to fight against the empire. You know, the
I
rebel.
mean,
And I'm Vietnamese.
Apparently, the only one fighting against the
and I
Empire.
guess, yeah, I guess you're the only
He's
Vietnamese
the
guy.
Vietnamese
yeah,
empire.
that's
Hey, last
fighting
witch, you wanna
against
team
the
up?
Germanians.
No.
Oh,
But
okay.
speaking about rebels, if you guys didn't know, this anime put us back into the era of basically a pseudo World War II battle.
This was World War II. I don't know what you're talking about.
Those countries do not exist, though.
Really?
You tell me where Germania is.
It's located north of Eldstadt.
And how about the USA, the United States of Atlanta?
It's across the Atlantic Ocean.
It's-
I just thought the ATL took over all of the United States, and that's where we are now.
I have no clue what ATL is.
Peace up, A-Town down.
It's a rap thing.
I'm sorry,
East
I'm
Coast,
not
man.
as ethnic as you two.
Oh, wow.
Wow.
With a
Going
name
the
like
E word out.
Julian. Your name's not Scott Summers or something, you know?
You wish you were Scott Summer, wouldn't you?
No, I just think he's the coolest of the X-Men, even though I hate them all.
Yeah.
He's the X-Men, right?
Yeah, he's Cyclops. Someone we probably won't see in an Infinity Wars, because just to date this podcast, Evo's happening right now.
Evolution.
And sadly, still no X-Men and Marvel
Who
Infinity.
cares, dude? Marvel's dead. It's all about fighters.
But I wanted, well, true, everyone's on that DBZ hype. And Arxis is killing it right now with how many, licenses they've been able to obtain.
Arxis is not killing it. Capcom is just killing themselves.
All my friends are dead.
It's kind of like the Omen scene where like the nanny's on top and it's telling, "This is all for you, Damien. It's all for you." Capcom to giving it to
That
Arxis on a
entire
platter.
sentence was lost on me.
It's okay, because this podcast is all for you guys. And about that, what kind of podcast are we, guys?
Podcast that prevents one person from killing themselves, but
God
makes two
bless it.
others
Can
want
we
to.
not talk about that? That's so rude. Every
Listen, man.
time we do this, you gotta remind me of some pretty dark times. Huh?
Well, if you guys couldn't tell, that's the one.
All right,
Me and
so
War are the two. It's like
but
how
we-
it's what's that skill called when you heal someone at the cost of your own life? Like that general kind of thing?
a martyr
I don't know. It's like life share or something.
live share
Yeah, like when you steal your teammate's stock and smash.
drain.
Yeah, like you press start.
Is that what
Yeah.
I'm doing right now?
Yeah, you're sucking us.
Oh, ill. And there's more. We are doing really bad.
I guess to get back on track, we watch anime.
Yeah, we're a bad anime.
No,
podcast.
we don't watch anime.
We watch
We
bad.
attempt to watch bad anime.
Yeah, just like people's bad movie podcast, we take a stab at trying to watch anime that wasn't really well received. Our Metacritic score has been my anime list for quite some time, and I'm gonna say that they've been delivering so far.
So far.
It's-
But Akiba's trip.
yeah, I mean, you get some gems, and that's what you hope for in this genre.
Handshakers.
No.
That's your opinion.
That's my fact.
I think a lot of us gave Handshakers a pretty good score in the end. But we are not talking about Handshakers. We're talking about Shumatsu no Izetta, or Englishly known as Izetta, the Last Witch. How do we open this?
How
we
do we
usually
open
go.
what?
I mean,
How do we
I
open
know
this can of
this
worms?
break. Yeah, I know this break has kind of put me on a
I don't
weird
think you
flow.
should be asking how.
Uh-huh.
I think you should be asking what.
What?
Yeah,
What
what?
happened?
Oh,
Well,
or do you
remember,
mean
it's-
how we go into like
Our segment.
what happened?
What?
See?
You didn't do it either.
All right.
What happened?
Listeners, do this with us. Okay, ready? 1. I don't care if you're
Count
in
down
a bus.
from 3 backwards in Japanese.
Son.
You're making this more
Me.
complicated.
Ichi.
What happened?
I'm so surprised that I was able to do that. But all right. Let's get into this. This is the summary part where we tell you what happened so that you don't have to watch it yourself. Hold on. Pause.
Our manga is a place on Reddit where you can go and read about manga.
And discuss. Also,
And
to
then get
post up,
spit on by Sega.
also post a picture where you can say, "Hey, what manga is this from?" Like 99% of the time, it's hentai, anyways.
That's crazy. Well, the one where the one where Shinichi's arm becomes a dick. That's actually not hentai. Oddly enough. There's also the anime variant. Our anime.
That one is just loaded up with like anime, like clips and
Oh my god.
discussion.
You know how close you guys were? It's getting water all over the place.
Yes.
Oh my lord.
And I wanted to push that boundary.
Why?
I thought you were gonna cry too.
So in case
I'm
Jonathan
sweating.
decides to keep this in,
No, please don't, Jonathan. This is terrible.
so you went to go take a drink of water, and we started talking, and that was just too much for this guy to handle.
Oh lord.
To start talking about our favorite subreddits.
I think we're all crying.
Yeah. Okay.
We just sit here and laugh.
I'm just trying
This
to
is the
remember
moments
how
I
this.
cherish.
I just want to try to remember the story for a second.
Didn't you watch it all this morning or something?
Screw you. I watched 6 episodes this morning. All right. So let's. Oh, wait, hold on. Mark. So we'll tell you what happened. Our story starts out in the country of. Well, it was neutral country, and I don't think they said the name of it. But we're
Westria.
Westria?
Westria?
Not Westeros, but Westria.
I don't
That's
what-
Austria.
Oh, thanks. I really didn't. I mean, like, all of the countries in this anime are like parodies of the real world,
They're
right?
You know-
homages.
Homages. Homages.
Physical
Tomare.
or
So,
physical.
I mean, the layout was. The
It
layout
was,
was
very,
accurate.
loosely based off of it.
you know, one country that just didn't get like any kind of distinguishedness, though?
France?
Japan.
Africa.
No,
Actually,
no,
yeah.
there was. They talked about it a little bit. I mean,
No, yeah.
Yeah, but they actually call it
Germanian-
Africa.
Yeah, the Germanian guy's like, I want all of your troops out of Africa. But
Yeah, no.
Every-
everyone
wanna
else
go.
has said something different.
Why would you say that? Why would you say anything but Africa or like list out like 12 countries, man? Just be like, get out of that continent. I don't want you in South Africa either.
Well, I'm just saying the other.
Like they
countries and
didn't make up a
continents
name
weren't
for
made-
Africa. They just said it's Africa.
Yeah, it wasn't America. It was Atlanta.
Yeah, it was still Europe.
Did they call it Europe?
I don't remember.
I think it was European countries.
Nah. Either
and then,
way,
and then America, Atlanta is
Atlanta.
not a continent.
It was the USA.
Yeah, but they didn't say
Yeah,
the
true.
North Atlanta.
Well, they
Sure.
call it the United State of Atlanta.
Yeah, they were talking about the United
Yeah,
States.
but
as
the
well.
United States of America is not a whole continent either.
But no, well, still, but it's like the United
Is
States
this
of
a
all of
geography
it.
podcast?
I guess so.
made a
And it's
mistake.
starting to be because that's
My
what
dad
it
would
is.
be super proud of that because he always makes fun of how the United States education system only has one semester of geography in high school.
Yeah, because who cares about?
Yeah, I
other
don't,
places?
I don't,
You wanna-
remember, I don't remember my states at all.
Everything's flat. Who cares?
Okay, flat.
I already
Earther.
get the abbreviation mixed up all the time, like Mississippi, Montana, and Missouri. Like I don't remember which one is MI, MS, and MO.
Okay, which of those has an O in it?
Missouri and Montana.
Montana. Montana.
Montana.
Montana.
And which O is closer to the M or at the end of it?
Don't put me on the spot like this.
I'm trying to teach you because if you don't learn,
I'm going to repeat history.
Much like these people in this country did. So, in Westria, there is a train, and our heroine, she was the Princess Astra
Izetta?
No. Astrafine von
our heroine, but she's not Izetta.
Elstadt? How do you say that country?
So every time I saw it, I just brushed it off and didn't really look at how it was spelled.
Okay, it was ELY.
I think it was Eldstadt
Eldstadt.
I also sound right, yeah.
So yeah, Eldstadt, and
or
she
Switzerland.
Had. I really don't know what they're supposed to be.
We
but
looked at the map. It's Switzerland.
It's Swiss. Oh, there's the Swiss. Okay, so she was on a train and trying not to be recognized as passengers were being disgruntled and interrupted by some Germanian soldiers.
Germans?
Germanian, who were saying, "Hey, have you seen this lady? And,
Do you look like this lady?
Do you look
yeah,
like this
do
person?
you look like this person?" And the people are like, "No, you can't do this. This is neutral."
My name is
country."
Officer Phelps, and what did you see?
Sorry, gotta shake the tree and see what falls out.
as they
My mistake.
as they come by, the princess and her two guards, were like, "We got to book it." This goes through an elaborate train scene where they're dodging and running through a corridor, and they end up on top of the train. And when they find a little cart to hide in for a quick moment, they notice a peculiar-looking device that looks somewhat like a coffin.
Yeah, I felt it looked more like a bomb.
Yeah, it definitely looked like
Some
a
sort
bomb.
of weird container. Something
Whole
that's
bunch of tubes and flashing lights.
And Fina just starts going right at that thing. she looks into the hole. Is like, "I'm gonna open this." Starts like unlocking some devices,
Which
and
is weird because those definitely had locks on there.
yeah, like straight up locks it. She's like, "No, you just gotta
Keyholes.
lift them up." And one of her attendants, whose name was Herman, is just
The
like,
blonde one?
yeah, the blonde one. He's like, "Oh, why are you doing that?" She goes, "I don't know. This is peculiar to me."
it just feels right, you
Yeah.
know?
It's got that feel to it.
Soon those Germanian soldiers, jump in and start blasting at them. And poor Tobias. The only reason why I remember this guy's name is that literally, if you guys read Animorphs in 4th grade to
Where they
6th grade,
sent in all the disabled people to act as decoys and they all died.
not that part.
Oh,
But
Spoilers, I'm
there
not
wa-
there yet.
there was a character named Tobias, and he was my favorite in Animorphs.
was
and
he a never nude?
No, he was not that Tobias. That's Arrested
Well,
Development.
I'm not saying he was that Tobias. I'm saying he might have been a never nude too.
He could have been a never nude. Well, he was always nude because he was a bird. So,
You're not nude if you got feathers.
interesting theory. We'll expand upon that later. But yeah, he was my favorite character, and that guy got shot. So I was sad that Tobias wasn't going to be in this anime. But they end up jumping out of the train after being fired at, and this is when we slowly learn that the Germanians were transporting a female inside that coffin, a female with bright red hair.
That's hot.
Oh, Sigurd, that was top secret information. You sure know that.
Oh, yeah.
Oh god,
Pop,
no.
pop.
Why?
All right, so it's just us two now. Let's finish this, Julian.
Let's
so,
just go home. Wait. We're already here. We're done.
Anyway, so the princess finally get in contact with.
Continue, okay.
You want to continue? I mean,
Oh, I thought it was Sigurd dead.
yeah, let's talk. Let's talk about Dragon Ball Fighter. Anyway, so princess decided to meet the leader of Britannia.
Is he, okay, yeah, sure, whatever, man. I'm not gonna even question it. All these terms. are
Okay,
new
I'm
to
back.
Oh, hey, Sigurd. Sorry about that.
Found some ley lines, and I'm back now. So,
Me. Wow.
Yeah. What we find out is that the Germans have been pushing their territory upon other countries, much like how
World War II happens.
World War II happened, and in current day, what's happening in Russia. And they've been deploying their blitzkrieg tactic,
Usual tank and airstrikes and all that fun stuff.
attacking out of nowhere.
I shouldn't say fun stuff. That came out wrong.
It's fun for the winners.
And I don't know. They've just been decimating and taking over the country. While this is happening, we learn that the Germanian lord, the king,
Emperor.
Emperor Otto.
has slowly kind of been interested in some kind of like occult thing, and that's what the transportation of this girl was, because they had a rumor of a weapon that was able to take out a whole fleet of,
Or like a whole city. Like it decimated an entire city.
and it happened to be this girl. The princess ends up on an airplane or something, right?
Well, in her meeting, she gets captured.
Yeah, she got captured.
Well, before that, she did decide to try to meet up with the leader of Britannia for help.
Yeah,
To be clear, it's not the Britannia leader from Code Geass.
Yeah.
He's a much nicer dude.
yeah, a way happier, not
Very jovial.
hell bent, very jovial. He had a red nose, kind of like Doc from the Seven Dwarves.
His
Yeah,
name is Red Fern.
I see what you mean by that. Yeah.
And that's when Herman dies, because he was outside the door, and they
He was
captured.
too busy eavesdropping. He should have been looking down the hallway for guns.
Yep. and see, like, this is when we find out what kind of leader this princess is, because what she was meeting the leader of Britannia. It wasn't the actual leader. It was just like the attendant.
Or like a administrator or like ambassador or something like something. He's pretty high up for sure.
And she was offering in order to pull Britannia into this war, was to offer her hand in marriage to their prince, who had proposed to her before. Obviously,
And she rejected him.
yeah, originally.
Yeah.
Because she probably likes...
But situation changed.
She's known as the tomboy princess.
She was known as a tomboy princess, and before the idea of even this happens, the Germanians kind of crashed that theater,
Because I think he later learned out, like, even if she did marry, the German forces decide to invade.
not Britannia.
Not Britannia. It was something close by, like something that like it was out of his control now.
I think it was Elstad. Like, she was trying to prevent them.
Oh
from
yeah,
even
you're right.
trying.
Oh yeah,
No,
they
it
already.
was some other country.
Are you sure?
Yeah, they had to retreat or something. I said, no, we can't help you. Something's already...
Some stuff's going down already.
War, political stuff. No.
Actually, no, I think you're right. I think Elstad was getting attacked.
Yeah. There's no point in trying to prevent this from happening because
Because
it's,
it's already happening. Because they had to put up the barrage balloon around the city to prevent them from actually getting aerial striked.
Yeah. And so with her capture, the lieutenant, or I don't know, the superior officer inside that plane was kind of bragging to the princess, like, "Oh yeah, you're a hot piece of meat, lady, and
Why, thank you.
I want to do terrible things, but the emperor might want you, so
Sorry, I don't swing that way.
and I'm gonna make you sorry." And then all of a sudden the casket thing, he tells her like all of the things inside this airplane are valuable weapons to the Germanian Empire, and then the coffin thing happens to be in there, and they're like, "Oh, even though this was opened earlier, I think it should be okay."
They didn't even check on it.
No. It's not okay.
Because they decide to lose pressure at that moment, and the person inside the coffin decide to wake up.
Wakes up to see this blonde tomboy princess standing in front of her, telling the Germanian soldiers that
Yeah, it's hard. It's kind of hard,
gotta
isn't it?
back off because I love my country, and you guys are never going to take over because we are resilient people, and you can't hurt our
Blah,
people.
blah, 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 blah.
We're just not gonna take it.
And so this redheaded girl coming out of the coffin has a flashback to a girl who looks exactly like the girl in front of her, kind of giving a speech of "Don't hurt her," and
To who?
to
A bunch of pitchforks, you say?
yeah, to a bunch of pitchforks and adults. and she got like
I
a
only
little
saw pitchforks.
stab wound on her side already, probably from a pitchfork. And as the Germanian soldiers see that the redheaded girl has like woken up, they decide to like take fire. The Princess Fine takes a bullet to the shoulder, which triggers redheaded girl, and she just blows up the airplane. Right?
Like yeah,
Yeah.
It's
entirely.
a bit different than that, but that's close enough.
Yeah, that's close enough. As they're falling, she sees like, what was it? A sword or
It was
no,
a
it was a
gun.
gun.
It was a gun.
Yeah, straight up gun. A machine
Rifle
gun.
coon is
It
what
was
they
not
dubbed it as.
a machine gun.
What kind of gun is that?
It was a
That
rifle.
That
It
was
was
like a anti-tank rifle or something, dude.
Okay, it's a long gun.
Long.
And so she touches
Long
it.
dong.
I believe the internet dubbed it as rifle coon.
Okay, so she touches rifle coon.
You said that already, and we already skipped past it. We don't care about that plot.
Why
okay.
did
Rifle
you guys
coon.
didn't address it?
She touches rifle coon. It glows. She mounts it, and it becomes her little broomstick that she'll fly on for like.
No, it's an air motorcycle.
It does look like the Star Wars like speeder bikes.
I was thinking
Like
that too.
straight
Yeah.
up.
No, she say that. Yeah, a bit.
And so she catches Princess Fine, and guess what? They know each other. Because in that flashback,
What?
it was her.
What?
What?
That's crazy.
Yeah, and
What a
she's like-
coincidence.
She's like, "Oh, Izetta, I can't believe you're here." So that earlier moment when she looked, when Tobias and Herman was still alive, and she looked into the coffin, she saw like her best friend inside of a coffin, and while she was
No,
opening,
she didn't see it.
she looked in first.
Well,
she
it
couldn't
was still
tell.
pretty dark, but like she did fog up. Was like, is there a person inside? I wasn't sure.
Oh,
She didn't
okay.
know.
I was about to say it was like
We
she
got
just,
to see because they eventually showed us like what was in there.
after the smoke cleared from the thing.
No, after they left.
Yeah, and which is after the smoke cleared from Fine opening it.
No.
I don't know. There was like some cryogenic mist in there, and then when she opened it, it was like.
Either way, she was kind of running away to actually pay attention to like, hey, is that my best friend inside?
Yeah. I just think it's funny that she just blew off Herman and Tobias. Like, you don't need to know why I want to open this thing, but I guess she didn't know.
She didn't know. She just wanted to open it.
Mm-hmm.
It was just
And
that primal instinct.
as they're flying
That
down,
carnal.
When you see something locked, you just want to open it.
as they're flying down, Fina is like, "Oh man, Izetta, I'm so happy that you're you and that we're gonna survive this. You're so powerful." To speed up this anime dramatically, what this ends up becoming is kind of like I don't know. Maybe you guys saw Wonder Woman recently or something like
I
that.
did.
I did
You
not.
guys
I've been
did
meaning
not?
to.
Okay, well then I won't use that analogy. But
Oh, you
Izetta,
can. Maybe
it's
some
pretty-
people will get it. Just explain.
It's pretty similar
Yeah.
from the trailer I seen.
Izetta being the last witch is a powerhouse that the other countries don't have.
But you'll be up against tens of thousands of men.
Doesn't matter when you're a walking nuke.
And Fine, her plan is to mimic this fairy tale that was told in El Sadat. Well, it wasn't a fairy tale. It was something that's in their history.
It was a
fairy
myth
tale.
or a legend. Yeah,
Yeah.
it was. They mostly consider it as a fairy tale.
The legend of the White Witch, who was a witch who helped Elstadt win a war.
Yeah.
And
When their conflicts is.
yeah, and Izetta having her power, even though she was told to never help humans in war or meddle in their affairs with her powers, decides that she has this undying faith and loyalty to Fine and will help the people of Elstadt, because she cares about. They call her Archduchess in the what do you call it?
The
Subtitles?
subtitle. But they keep saying
she's a
Hime.
princess at the same time. Yeah,
Well, there is no. Well, I guess there is a title for Archduchess because they do say something as well.
yeah.
You know, localization.
I'm gonna call her Fine.
Sharknado.
Yeah, Sharknado. So Fine makes Izetta meet her team of like, I don't know, media control hype.
Her cabinet.
Her cabinet, yeah. Her father sadly passes away, and the way that they introduce that Fine is now the leader of the country is with a press conference, also introducing Izetta, the last witch, to be the new White Witch of Elstadt and their savior in this
Before
war.
we do that, I think we need to cover what happened before that because there were rumors of a witch on the battlefield back at what was the place called? Like,
Corona.
Copenhagen,
Cornucopia?
Coronado.
I don't remember.
It
The
was a
battle
big
in the
fight.
field.
Remember the first where she showcased her thing when
Oh,
after they landed after being hurt from that plane.
Ah, yeah.
They got into a battle.
Yeah, after they landed and healed, well, not healed, but like wrapped up
Rested.
Fina's wound. There's a giant battle that happens at this C word that we can't think of.
I'm not very good with European
That was near Lake Ludgen or whatever. I don't know. It's fake geography places. But Fine was using these like lances and flying around on Rifle Coon.
Izetta was using.
Oh yeah, sorry, Izetta.
She was using lances, and then she just speared a bunch of planes and stuff.
Did the lances have names, Wa?
No, they were just lances.
They're called fin funnels.
Also, she like were able to pick up the tank and then juggle them around.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I don't know. She touched things and threw them around with her
clowned
witch
on
abilities. Yeah, and everyone's like, "Oh man, she's the best." And
No, she's the worst because there was a scene where she was just like, "Hey, can I borrow that rifle?" And the guy was just like, no." And she's like, "Well, I'm taking it anyways." And he was just like, "Yeah." And he was just like, "What the heck? That was my gun."
then she found out she could fly with
This
it.
is also where we got introduced to Jonas.
Jonas,
Jonas.
the one with the glasses.
Yes.
Glasses.
Oh, we're gonna go into him.
Glasses Coon. You don't want to talk about him?
No, I was gonna skip right over
Oh,
him. But yeah,
man.
glasses, dude.
But
is
then
like,
we got to skip over Siegfried. Or Sig.
Not really.
Sigurd.
But his name is just Sieg.
Sig.
Zieg.
So, okay, yeah. During this battle, we get a minor character development of an Eldstatian soldier who's afraid to fight, but keeps looking at a picture of his family.
Family.
Guys, and so, he survives the battle and is like super in love with Izetta because she's like the best thing, and she saved his life.
Yeah, she saved a lot of lives.
She won a whole battle.
And with that rumor of this, the Elstatian soldiers' morale goes up. Fine ends up having a, what do you call it? An announcement of her coronation, and also talking about Izetta being their protector. And this is when we also
Don't step on us.
meet her publicity team.
Trying to promote her newest album.
Which consists of a black-haired gentleman named Sieg, and I don't remember the girl's name.
I don't either, but I do want to call her Ingrid.
Ingrid, because she got glasses.
I think she was honker of the season, so we can call her honker.
No,
No,
Izetta
Izetta was
Honker.
definitely
Was he?
Honkers.
No, I think the promoter lady was. I don't know.
Okay,
No,
if we're gonna talk about this, like, what was fun about this anime was that amongst all the war, they would throw in the typical tropes of anime, like
Yeah, there's only like a really quick one here and there.
here and there. It was just because
It wasn't too focused on it.
It pitter pattered on Yuri tones. Like, obviously Izetta and Fine kind of really loved each other, but then Izetta's maid, who was the lolly of this anime, also really cared for Izetta and liked washing her. And then you had this strong female lead named Bianca, who's captain of the Royal Guard, and she seemed to love Izetta a lot as well. But during this dress trying on scene, they keep strapping Izetta into this corset. Izetta's 15 is what I remember, by the way.
Yes,
true.
she was 15.
And they're like, "Oh, we're gonna put you in one of Fina's old dresses," and then they slam this corset, and they're like, "Yeah, Fina can wear this dress without a corset." And after they get the corset on her, the maid, who's the maid for Izetta, is like, "Guys, I'm having trouble fixing this
Titty's
dress
too
over."
big!
Yeah,
Especially with the bust.
her bust is too big for this, and everyone just stares at Izetta, and then they look at Fine.
And then
Who's-
Fine says, maybe it's okay to lose the war.
Yeah, she goes, not the war, but she's like,
That's exactly what she said.
No, she goes, "I can see how overwhelming a small country."
Oh,
And
yeah.
then the camera looks at Fina's chest, which is definitely smaller than the rest. How dare they pick a battle with other countries so large while the camera zooms in on everyone else's chest except the lolly? But yeah, so yeah, no, Izetta's definitely honkers, man.
Yeah.
Okay, I'll trust you guys.
She's the honkiest.
I didn't take the measurement. I just assumed.
I
Oh,
didn't-
you gotta
you gotta
freeball it.
eyeball those. It's like staring at the sun wall. You can't get caught staring. But anyways,
It's okay,
so
they can't stare back.
yeah, so they introduce, that the Elstatians are going to fight back the Germanians, and this happens to pull an interest of potential allies, which is what Fine was hoping, saying that Elstat can fight back and we will introduce Izetta to the other powers of the country's powers or whatever. And so the representatives get to meet Izetta. They make some joint assault on this super ship. I don't know. What do you call this ship?
It had a name, but it was like one of those battleship that had a bunch of planes and stuff.
Aircraft carrier.
Yeah, basically, this was Battleship. It's the one that takes 5 hits to sink.
Yeah, it only took 2.
And Izetta gets to display to the multiple countries that she's capable of touching torpedoes and guiding them. She was their version of guided rocket missile systems.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, she was small enough to not be shot down, but
and fast enough to not be shot down.
Yeah,
yep.
And mobile enough to shoot anything she wants.
And so, I'm gonna jump over to the Germanian side real quick and introduce a few key characters besides the Emperor, who's like totally a cold-hearted bastard.
You mean Dracula?
Yeah, basically.
You mean reverse Hitler?
Who has was it Van Helsing as his brother? And so
is that his brother? I had no clue who that dude is or what his importance was.
I think he said it was his brother, but it just is like his attendant.
Was he blind?
Maybe.
His eyes was
he
weird.
Was pale.
Yeah,
and he always looked like he was not looking at anything. So
I think he even said like, he was
it's
like,
too bad you can't see this.
Yeah, it was like, hey,
that's what he
Elliot.
said.
Yeah,
like,
Elliot.
Wait, is he blind?
But yeah, we have a scruffy-haired man with glasses named Berkman. And he was the one that was originally the caretaker of the case for Izetta. And with him is a bowl cut headed guy who I don't remember his name. I'm gonna call him Tom.
I think it was like Rickety.
Rickety Rick?
Yeah, Rick.
He's a little anime Rick.
I think it was like Rick Kurt or something like that.
We'll call him Rick.
Right. Rick is fine.
Rick is fine.
Everyone else have like English name anyways.
Yeah, so Rick and Berkman are kind of like the brains of this operation, especially.
Well, I think Berkman was the brain of the operation. Rick was just kind of there.
Yeah.
So, just real quick, I wanted to look at the cast of the characters' names, right?
So
I was looking on my phone, so I typed Izetta, and my first 2 search results are Izetta the Last Witch and Izetta the Last Witch Yuri.
No.
Sounds right.
Yeah, I mean, again, very strong Yuri subtones. So, yeah, the Germanians definitely are aware of this witch hype, and the Emperor definitely wanted to use Izetta for his own gains and seems very interested in this witch ability that they have. To combat that, they kind of like highlight this dude who seems to be overly zealous about machines and planes. You know what guy I'm talking about?
Oh, the pilot.
The pilot, yeah.
Yeah, man. Baby can go 400 kilometers.
Yeah, but Izetta's faster. So, match his speed. Yeah,
he got a super plane that can actually. It was like, I can finally keep up with her.
Yeah, and so he was like on that ship, and during that battle that Izetta like used the 5 torpedoes to. I don't know. It was like a Death Star battle. Yeah. They said that you needed to use 5 torpedoes.
Or it was like 4 torpedoes, and they also had to hit simultaneously in the middle
and at the same depth.
But they were able to destroy 2 of them. So
during that, that pilot was able to attack her so like well that he blew up 2 of them, and then Izetta's like, okay, there's one weak point, the place where the planes come out of, and uses her magic or the Force to guide the missile straight down there and hit deep into the middle of the plane. I mean, not the plane,
weak spot.
The weak spot of the ship twice, which again gains a lot of confidence for the people, and the allies are kind of like, yeah, we're kind of on board. Izetta seems to be great. This is when Berkman kind of has like a little project going on, and we see like little visions of some girl in a tube, and
another one?
Yeah. I mean, obviously, you just kind of think, oh, that has to be a witch, right?
But the anime is called Izetta, the Last Witch.
Kind of like how Star Wars is called The Last Jedi, but there's 2 of them. So, anyway.
Well, we'll have to see at the end of that
Jedi
movie,
is plural.
It is, yeah.
Wait, I forgot.
So, the people end up having like a ball, and they I don't know, they like dance or whatever.
Oh no, yeah, that was the Britannia leader birthday party. Redford was his name.
Hmm.
They're like, hey, we're
I
celebrating
think
your
he's
birthday.
basically Winston Churchill. I think he's the prime minister.
Yeah,
I
think so.
He's high up. I think he's one of the leaders. Yes.
And so this is when we get to see a little bit more of Tomboy Fine, because she does in her
not dress.
not dress. It was like a military pantsuit equipped with sword and everything. And Izetta comes out holding her hand in the dress that we were talking about, where her bust was too big. So
What a shame.
Fina asks Izetta if she wants to dance. She's like, no, not in public. It's too scary. So they go outside and are met by Berkman and this white-haired girl who looks totally out of it. Her
Like,
eyes
doesn't
are
even
going-
want,
Drugged as
yeah,
doesn't even want to be here.
her two eyes were going in two separate directions.
she took way too much X at the pre-party.
She pre-camed super hard before
she
she
knew that
came.
this ball was going to be boring, so she goes, I'm going to get lit. So her mouth was half open as Berkman's talking to Fine, and then all of a sudden the white-haired girl just like grabs Izetta's head and starts like kissing her, but not, because when Izetta pushes her away because Fine is the only mouth that she wants to touch, her lip was bit. It was bleeding, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, and
God, that's painful. Could you imagine getting your lip bit?
that's what I'm talking about.
yeah.
Like,
You gotta
that'd
buy
be-
it pretty hard.
and it
I'd
was
be-
like on the bottom of her lip too. I was like,
I'd have
oh.
been like, "What the?" Like, I was so surprised that Fine and Izetta are just like, "Oh, how dare you? We're gonna go now," and I'd be like, "Dude, she bit my friend."
Well,
And then
also
Fina-
the girl that totally
Hey.
passed out. She was like,
Yeah, she passes out.
the
Berkman
drug finally
carries
kicked
her,
in.
And
The
Fina's like,
30s were a weird time, okay?
Fina's like, "Who the heck are you?" When Winston Churchill comes out and
Like, hey, you having trouble back here?
and then she goes like, "Yeah, do you guys know this?" And he's gone.
They're gone.
Yeah, he's Spider-Man out there, or Batman.
Yeah, I was saying that's
Batman's
more
the better
Batman
one.
than Spider-Man.
Spider-Man would leave telling you some stupid joke.
Yeah. From there, we find out that Berkman has been cloning the real White Witch. So,
Oh,
and that was Hank Hill.
Whoa.
He came in for a second. And like the blood has awoken her. Thinking of how to fight against the Elstatians with their witch now, Rick gets sent on an espionage. Espionage? Is that how you say it?
yeah.
Yeah.
Metal
Mission.
Gear.
Yeah. He gets to be Solid Snake and does his first Halo jump. Do you guys know which one I'm talking about?
Yeah.
Yeah. He does a Halo jump into the night for the first time. Messes
Into
up,
a tree.
doesn't die.
Into
Yeah,
some bushes.
doesn't die. And it's like, oh man, I'm blown way off course. I need to get to the contact point.
Contact point?
Yeah, that's right. Ugh. Okay. I better start walking. And so he starts walking, and then it becomes daytime. Ends up falling into a pond when who happens to be upon him but Izetta's maid and Bianca, the head of the royal guard,
Who are undercover.
as maids.
So the maid wasn't
The
undercover.
maid isn't really undercover. They're just saying,
No, she was undercover too.
yeah. They're like,
She wasn't the maid for the princess.
we just work for our mistress.
Yeah.
And Rick starts having a little heart flutter for Bianca. She's
I mean,
like,
who
oh,
wouldn't with that
you're
forehead?
such. I can tell you probably like Sakura the most out of not until that.
Oh, that's
It-
not right. That is not my waifu.
Okay, we'll get into that later.
He was finally getting to the feeling like, hey, this country isn't so bad. I like
Yeah,
the people
he
here.
was like, these people are super nice. They just picked me up out of a pond and
Too bad I have
drying my
to kill
clothes.
them all.
Yeah, these are the people we're fighting.
I have to destroy their morale.
He just kept telling himself that these are the people we're fighting after they did nice thing after nice thing for them. But during dinner, when he was talking alone with Bianca, he reveals the true story of the last switch, because in the Elstatian version, after she won the war for them, she just ends up like disappearing,
Yeah, like,
like Jesus.
time to
Yeah,
disappear.
exactly. Disappears into the night. But he goes like, actually, that's not what happens. The princess of the country sells out the White Witch to the Vatican, and she got burned at the stake.
Damn Inquisition.
Yeah, she got sold to the
No one
Inquisition.
expects the Spanish Inquisition.
That's right. And
I mean, I certainly didn't expect them to show up in this anime.
I did not.
Yeah,
know.
I was really surprised. I was really surprised too.
It was well, no, it is the Vatican. So yeah, I wish they said the name of their country. I want to know what they would have changed it to. But
The Vatican. It was the Vatican.
the whole thing's the Vatican now. But yeah, Bianca like gets pissed off. It's like, how dare you? Don't you tell these kind of stories to me? Of
Don't
people?
ruin my fantasy.
Yeah, Izetta's a great witch.
You don't pay my sub.
And so Rick's like apologetic.
I think his name is Rickert.
Oh, okay, cool.
There was that name in the cast.
Nice. Okay.
I
Well,
knew
then,
it was
yeah,
like Rick something. Yeah.
So
Sanchez.
he runs into apologize to Bianca as he's eavesdropping, much like Herman was, and here's like a little bit of a yelp and sees Bianca naked. So that's his fun little
Anime trope.
anime trope happiness. And as he's running away, he does his job and becomes Solid Snake again.
Meet up with his contact.
Contact?
And we find out we have to infiltrate the princess's base
Princess's base.
and get underground, where he could touch some symbols with some ancient blood.
Blood?
Blood.
You guys aren't supposed to repeat what I repeat.
Yeah, I was thinking. I'm like, is this how Metal Gear plays?
No, Metal Gear is
No.
like something Metal Gear, and this thing goes Metal Gear, and then they explain it.
Yeah, okay. I was just trying to continue
What's,
on the thing.
what's
but-
wrong with that soldier?
I'm sorry. I'll be on it correctly. So, as they enter the base, he touches a
Base.
symbol. Yes, a base is a castle for the princess.
It was the old castle.
It was the old castle, and he gets inside. I'm gonna let you still be Solid Snake while I give this then. And he's holding the old folktale book that has like the true story in it.
The true story.
The true story of the fairy tale is when we find out how the last witch actually died. I mean, not the last witch, but the White Witch actually died. When they get inside, they see this mural and like of the White Witch and a statue. I don't know. It was like an ornate room where it kind of told the story that he already told.
Well, like if anything, it showed him like all of her weakness and all of our stories, basically.
Yeah, because throughout this whole episode, he was kind of giving, what do you call that?
Death flags?
No, not death flags, but when exposition.
Yes.
He's giving a bunch of exposition on the past relationship of the White Witch and the King of Elstadot. Using the White Witch's blood, it triggers, I don't know.
No, that wasn't actually the White Witch's blood.
It wasn't the White Witch's
That
blood?
was
The-
Izetta's blood
yeah.
when they captured her.
When they captured it, they took some of her blood,
I
yeah.
was wondering how they had so much. I'm like from the clones or something, but
I was
yeah.
thinking that too, but I think that they did explain that was is that the blood.
So Izetta is a descendant of the White Witch, though, and it triggers the I don't know, magic
She
properties of the room.
can't be a descendant of the White Witch.
Because the White Witch
But
died.
they said that she was.
No.
Oh, maybe they just meant
When
that she,
you
as a
have
witch.
no children,
I
you don't get
understand
descendants.
what descendants is. But
They're the same race.
yeah, they're the same. They're witches. Okay, witch blood, and it shows the secret of Izetta. Though she can use magic, she can only use magic in certain areas where the magic ley lines are potent enough to be called upon.
You see, in Final Fantasy XIV, ley lines only just increase your spell speed. You're
Spells-
strong with or without it.
Spell speed.
How fast you cast spells.
Oh, wow. And so they take pictures with the camera.
You said that he could be Solid Snake, but you decided to take it
Well,
over.
I wanted to jump in.
See, and then I properly executed the scene.
Thank you.
Yeah, that's how you do it.
I know how it's done.
You explain it.
So as they get these pictures, Bianca and all of them kind of... Oh, wait. Almost forgot an important part. When the lane lines revealed, a bunch of other things started breaking. And
like the whole castle started to come down.
Yeah, I thought they were going to die. I'm like, ha, serves them right.
Well, you're...
But what a stone like falls out of one of the murals of the White Witch, and he's like, "What is this? I don't know, but pick it up and we're taking it."
They're like touching it to make sure, like, is it hot? Is
Yeah,
it hot?
like-
Is it
Well,
hot?
it fell into the water.
Yeah, it's like, "Oh, it's shiny. It's ours." so
Score.
as Bianca comes in, it's like, "Hey, Rick,"
Bianca.
and then
Later.
shots start getting fired. They jump down the hole that was made. A chase scene ensues. Rick gives the camera to this Germanian spy, which, let's take a back cut.
Yeah, I guess we totally forgot who the spy was.
You wanted me to talk about Jonas and I just skipped
Ooh.
over. So this Germanian spy was like a commanding officer in the Elstatian army.
He was a sergeant, I believe.
He was a sergeant. And during a battle, which Izetta, we knew the secret before the Germanians did, because Izetta
Izetta explain how her
Yeah,
parents
She showed them
Fine.
the map. She went to the castle and showed everyone.
Yeah, and Fina was like, I know kind of a little bit about this legend as well, but not all the details or something.
Yeah. She said,
And so-
Grandma said there was something in the basement.
Grandma used to say.
Oba-chan ga ite ita.
Oh, hey.
Wait,
Weird.
what was that? I think there was a bunch of Japanese we didn't understand. AKA the wee word of the day. Ba, 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 ba. Ready?
What is
3,
this
2,
tune?
1.
Oh, no.
You are my friend.
I know you may.
The show. All right. So Julian escaped last episode, and we told him it's happening. He can't escape this.
So what is this Obacha?
Obacha guy, whatever, something got that.
Oba-chan is the Japanese word for reading the one.
No, that's Yomi. I know that one.
Hold on, I got this. Hold on.
What?
Obachan?
Oba-chan is the Japanese word for grandmother.
Gataita?
So to ite is the way that it's a conjugation of to say. So and then ita is you did, like it happened, and then ga is just a particle, like grandma did this, like grandma did say, used to, kind of thing. So it's like, grandma used to say.
Which is a meme for us from.
It's not just a meme. It is
a way of life,
inspiration.
an inspiration from Kamen Rider Kabuto.
Yes, from Tendo Soji.
Yeah. So all
The
right.
best Kamen Rider, and anyone else that thinks otherwise can suck my.
Well, I don't know. We just saw the newest Kamen Rider, and he looked
Hey,
pretty
he
cool.
does look fire,
But
but does he have Hyper Kabuto?
we
I
don't know
think
yet.
so. I don't think. I don't think so.
Well, we will see.
We won't. Tell me, which of you plans on watching it?
Not me.
We're running out of shows, so we could watch it for
Do
dinner.
we become a Kamen Rider podcast? Because
Well,
I'd be
let's-
down.
Maybe.
Ooh.
Hmm.
I would much rather watch an episode of Kamen Rider and then podcast it on it every week. Let's do YouTube. Let's react videos.
To Kamen Rider?
Yeah, let's be
All right.
reactionary video guys.
Watch out, guys, for Daijo Crew's future projects.
We can be the Fine Brothers.
Oh,
Except we can be the
They lost that.
The Fine.
the Fine brothers.
Kyodai.
Wait, is that a Japanese word you just said? No, I'm
Yes,
kidding. I'm
it
kidding.
means siblings.
Oh, thanks.
All you get.
All right.
I thought Kyodai
what-
was his brother, but it could be sibling as well.
So, you know,
So, continuing back onto Shumatsu no Izetta.
weeboo. What is Shumatsu? What is that? Oh, my friend.
I don't know how to say the lyrics. It doesn't work on
Yeah,
me.
you clearly didn't.
So, yeah, we find out that the Germanians now have taken pictures of the ley line map. Oh no, wait, we're
You
talking
were
about
trying to talk
Jonas.
about
Yeah, we'll
Jonas.
talk about
My
Jonas
name is
because
Jonas.
we known for a while because Izetta explained to the army like how her
Wow,
power
we got
actually
off
works.
track, didn't
Yeah,
we?
we
A
were
lot, yeah.
really off track. All right, so Jonas, during this battle, when Izetta was not able to use her powers because it was in an area where there were no ley lines.
So they kind of faked it.
Yeah, they were going to use a decoy, but Izetta's like, no, it has to be me because Berkman might see or whatever. They didn't say Berkman, but they're like,
Well, the
"Jack,
Germanian
Yeah.
might have cameras or they can try
Zoom.
to see. Yeah,
They can enhance even though they don't have that technology.
they can try to do a face
Are you
recognition.
kidding me? They had clones.
That's true. So
Like at first, I thought this was gonna be like pretty like
low tech.
historically factual,
Uh-huh.
and then like clones like, oh nope, this is anime, all right.
Yeah, I think that's where it jumped the shark.
So they used like sound systems to amplify her voice to seem like she was using magic and put the microphone in between her honkers,
Honk honk.
which is why
Why she is honker?
why she is honkers.
Yeah, dude. Do
And-
you think anyone else could fit a microphone in between their titties?
Phoenix-
I don't know.
definitely
Maybe the publishers of the United States of Atlantia.
Atlanta. But,
I like Atlantia better.
so they used like TNT to like blow up a mountain while she pretends to call on the spirits of the earth to
The gnomes.
to,
Those damn gnomes.
to crush her foes. And Jonas was like, "Oh, guys, the witch is so
I'm
great.
such a hard-on for
She's
Izetta.
the best.
You understand? She flew above me, and I saw her skirt.
And I swear I'd go to jail for her because she's only
I
15.
dragged my dick through
Oh,
a mile of
Jesus
broken glass just to stand in her shadow.
I would invent some sort of huggy pillow of her image on there and make billions.
And this is how Dakimakura were born.
Yeah. And so Jonas is like looking at the picture of his family to like calm himself down.
Family.
No. And he drops it into a river.
See, I don't get. Is that really a picture of his family?
Yeah, he said that was a family. He had two
But it was
sisters and a
5
sister.
people, and he was one of them, right?
No.
No, he have 2 sister and 1
So
younger
you
brother.
Took a picture without him, huh?
Yeah.
He took the picture.
He's at war. He doesn't have
Before
time to
he
be in a
went to
picture.
war, he took that picture.
Oh.
Or maybe after and they sent it to him.
Because I
don't
totally
know.
thought like the one on the right was him when he was younger.
I know.
I thought so
it
too,
was
but-
another kid with
And
glasses.
it sounded like he wanted to like bone one of them.
Oh.
No, I think he wanted to bone
He says,
Izetta.
he goes, mother, father, Elena, Emil, Emily, or whatever. That's all he ever said for
Wow,
his
they all
family.
got E names, and he got
Jonas.
Jonas.
Jonas. So,
Johan.
as he's chasing his little picture down the stream, much like a little leaf boat, he comes across Sieg telling
One of the
another-
commander.
Yeah,
Like,
like
he was a general. He was
saying,
just
like,
the general.
the decoy worked. Why? And then they're like, why did you use Izetta? It's like she insisted, and
Or like, why did you blow up the mountain and stuff like that?
Yeah.
Which upset me because like there was no point of them holding that meeting like outside in the public with like no guard.
Yeah, exactly.
It was just like Jed to build up tension for that
For
particular
that scene,
moment. Yeah.
Hmm.
Because I could have sworn he was also at. I thought he was at that at that scene where they said they're going to use a decoy or Izetta or something like that.
Yeah.
So I thought he knew, but
I thought so too. I thought the whole army would know.
except for the lower ranks.
Yeah, and so Sieg like feels someone like watching them as he listens.
Oh, we heard it.
And
Jonas made a stumbling sound.
yeah, and
I think it was
Jonas.
the pail.
Wait, what?
The pail.
Oh,
The
He was
water pail.
I
collecting
thought you said
water.
he's pale, and I'm like, what does that have to do with anything? But
It means he doesn't absorb sunlight too well.
yeah, I guess. So he goes to that commanding officer. He's like, commanding officer,
Or it's just
Sergeant.
Sergeant. Yeah.
I have a secret about the witch.
He was like, huh? What? And he was just like, you know
I
what,
think
never
I found out something amazing about Izetta.
Yeah, yeah. And the sergeant's like, well, tell me it.
The sergeant is the German spy, in case you guys forgot.
Yeah.
because how off track we got.
And Jonas is like, wait, I don't think I want to tell you anymore.
So then he take him out to the wood and was like, hey,
All right.
we're friends, right? I'm your sergeant. You can tell me anything.
well, I
And
don't
even
know,
if you're
Sergeant.
embarrassed-
I think that I'll hold on to that information.
Then he pulls a gun on
Yeah,
him.
he was just like,
Why don't you just tell me right now, you little shit?
yeah.
By the way, I have friends and they have your family hostage, and I'm gonna shoot them too if you don't tell me where they are.
I forgot about that part.
Yeah,
And then he shot him in the leg.
yeah,
Yeah, he was like, you're gonna. He was like, I shot through your artery. You're gonna last 10 minutes. So tell me right now.
And Jonas is just like, no. And
No,
then
he was like, Izetta.
And
And
then
then
weakness.
Pop, pop, pop,
yeah,
pop.
the-
And then that's when Sig and another guard or secret agent decided to chase
I
after
think it was
the spy.
Hitman.
Hitman?
I think it was Hitman.
yeah,
Yeah, it was a hitman. Yeah.
point is that Sieg chases away this guy, and they now know he's a Germanian spy. And Sieg goes to
They
Jonas.
They
Yeah,
knew.
Sieg goes to Jonas. Is like, hey, do you love your country?
You'll do anything for your country, right?
Yes.
Pop.
Well, then I'm sorry.
Yeah. So
Secret is now safe.
yeah, the secret is now
Anyways, fast back forward.
to another spy.
The same,
the same
spy.
spy.
Same. Well, Rick. That's what I'm talking about.
You mean Snake?
Yeah, Snake does the handoff to Germanian Sergeant, and he goes one way while Rick goes the other.
To distract them.
And Bianca comes upon Rick, and he says like, I don't understand. Well, I understand why people like fairy tales, and gives the sappy speech about how he likes Bianca. Bianca has a gun pointed at him. He has a gun pointed at Bianca. They shoot at each other. Bianca wins the duel. Rick falls into the forest.
Ah, what a happy ending.
Yeah.
And then,
Meanwhile, Germanian soldier guy is running for his life,
booking it.
and the other like royal guard girl like licks her lips.
She licks her
I
finger.
thought, yeah, she
Oh,
looks her finger,
I thought
then
you-
rubbed it on her
and
gun.
her gun on her rifle coon, and then snipe
I'll admit that was a pretty cool scene because it's like the way she played it out.
Yeah,
That
she's
was
like,
weird. I thought, oh man, they're not gonna get away with the secret.
but then this random blonde guy.
Oh
Well, no, it was a random old guy.
Yeah.
It was like an old guy from the bar, and he was just like Sigrid or
Sigrid.
Sigrid.
Which is how they hail.
They say
always say Sigrid.
I actually looked up Sigrid, and it just means victory,
Oh, okay.
or like to victory or whatever.
And so
Basically, that's their version, yeah.
um,
But yeah, that was the worst part because like she sniped him and was like, "All right, collect the body. I'm done here. I'm not even going to look at the body to make sure it's okay."
No. The Sieg asked them, Sieg asked them, "Did you check the bodies?" And they're like, "Yeah, we eliminated both spies, and they took nothing." But that's because the old guy took it and
They
gave it
didn't
to
know
the
about the old
Germanians.
guy because he was an Elstad citizen.
Mm-hmm. And
Oh yeah,
so,
I forgot about that one.
He
Yeah.
always ate pie or whatever at that cafe.
Yep,
How sad. Betrayed.
betrayed by their own people.
Hail Hydra.
And so they,
A 50-year-old spy in the making.
Yeah. And so
Sleeper agent.
continuing on, the next battle that they have, Izetta, I don't know, they were gonna blow up something.
I think
They
that was
said,
that was
this will
Len.
be the turning point.
Of
If you
the-
win here,
Oh, Atlanta will join the war with you.
Atlanta, Georgia.
they
Where
will join the war. Yeah.
Yeah, and so while they're fighting, Izetta is like doing her bomb stuff. They named her funnels for a
They
second.
gave her like swords.
Swords and funnels.
Special swords.
They said air torpedoes because they put fins on the torpedoes so that they could fly better, even though they're
More-
flying with magic. So
it's more aerodynamic, you know.
yeah,
No, I don't know. Those things move pretty well.
and so they were going to attack like the new secret weapon of the Germanian Empire and like stop them in their tracks. While Izetta's fighting, all of a sudden these fancy purple giant swords come in and like mess up her weapons, and we realize that there is the white-haired girl who looked like she was hopped up on drugs earlier, but she looks very coherent now, and she's like, "Oh, I'm Sophie,
Her high is gone.
the last witch."
No,
the last
she's
white witch.
No, she's like, "I am the white witch."
yeah, and then Izetta's like, "Ah, shit."
Oh no, she was like, "What?"
And so they start fighting. Izetta finally uses Rifle Kun as a real rifle, which is pretty cool.
No, she used it a few times.
Oh, did she?
She always had magically charged bullets.
Yeah, that's what I thought was awesome.
That's when they actually started to look at like the speed bike from Star Wars
Oh,
because like
true.
she actually had like the pedals and the handles and everything.
And when she
Custom.
needed to reload, she just kind of clicked her heel on a lever.
I
It was
actually
pretty
thought that was
awesome.
pretty cool. Like
Yeah.
they actually designed a rifle for her to ride on.
Yeah, it was pretty cool. And so, during that battle, Sophie is able to lure Izetta to a place with no magic, and we find out that the stone that Sophie now has in her possession
That the spies stole?
that the spies stole, is basically a philosopher's stone. And it allows her to use magic outside of these zones, but at the cost of like her life. And so
It's okay. Just make more clones.
Sophie messes her up, uses chains as pseudo tentacle hentai, strings up Izetta, but the Elstatians stop that from happening after like Izetta's like humiliated basically.
She was just sprung up for a while.
Yeah, it looked painful.
Well, enough to
hands
get-
were,
enough to get pictures,
Super
yeah.
messed up too.
Yeah.
Yeah, and they did like Wes said. They took a bunch of photos showing that they like
Yeah, we
Bopped her.
get wrecked, noob. You know?
get that weak shit out
Yeah,
here.
exactly.
The
You're
wall of
messing
shame.
Fraud detected.
So they're able to take Izetta back. The Elstatians, they use the regular soldiers. One guy sacrifices his plane and kamikazes to lead that charge.
For Fine!
Yeah, we can't go out there. There's way too many people. We'll just go to die. And then the
This
plane
guy-
comes in.
Yeah.
And,
Is that bonsai?
And so the war starts definitely turning into the favor of the Germans as Sophie is bent on destroying all of Eldstadt because of the betrayal that they had done to her with the Inquisition thing. She says that she wants
She's
to
still
destroy
mad about
all
that,
of this yeah, even after death. You know? She's like, "Oh, I'm going to
She
make
can't-
them burn in the fire that I burned in." And I was like, "Wait, in hell or
At the stake,
at the
or,
stake?" Yeah, exactly.
or in your heart.
But she goes on a rampage saying she wants to destroy all of his descendants. Izetta feels useless. Fine is telling Izetta that she did enough for this war. And then Sieg offers Izetta the ability to fight back because his family knows a lot about this thing
Family.
as well. And he has his version of the stone, which is the other half of Sophie's stone. During this time, the Germanians have developed a nuke.
A magical nuke.
A mook.
And they found this out because the Emperor, now that he has Sophie and his own witch, tells Berkman, I'm going to handle all the operations regarding Sophie because she's awesome.
It's my witch. You can go now.
And Berkman's like, wait, so...
Do I still have a job? Or
like, yeah, you can go do some peasant crap, by the way. And Berkman's not happy about that. And
He's
so,
actually kind of scared, too.
yeah. And so they end up finding the final resting place that Fine and them are in. And during this siege where people are dying, Fine tries to sacrifice herself and surrenders to the Germans because...
To Dio.
Yeah, this blonde-haired dude who knew which room she was in is like, get me all of the healthiest soldiers we've captured. And then just through the door is like, Fine, you better come out, or else I'm not gonna stop doing this. And then just shoots him in the back of the head.
It was like, you better come out because my finger is going to get tired.
And he's not going at a slow pace either. He's like, give me one. Pop!
Like he's not even counting down. He's just like, one.
Yeah, no, okay, pop! And I felt bad because then the soldiers who are like, their princess is in that room. They know that. And they just start screaming, no! I'm like, why are you making it harder on her? Just die with dignity.
Well, no, they're scared.
I know, but that's gonna happen. They can't stop.
Not everyone can be like Jonas Cigarette.
Well, maybe one of them might say, stop, no, this is wrong, and might convince the Romanian soldier to be like, oh man, this is really messed up.
Really wrong. It might appeal to his better nature.
You know what? I think we're in room for negotiation right now.
So 2 guys die, and then the third guy is like, please, no. And then Archduchess Princess Fine is like, no, okay, you got it. All right,
stop, he's already dead.
Go with you as long as you don't hurt anyone else.
And then he gets so mad that she's being nice, grabs her face, like, no, princess, you're supposed to struggle and resist, or it's no fun for me.
Yeah, you're taking the fun out of torture.
That's fine.
And then all of a sudden,
I'm gonna burn everyone in this bunker now.
Yeah, I'm gonna burn everyone just to watch you suffer. And then a bunch of bricks come barreling down.
Just getting chucked at them.
Yeah, and everyone except that bastard and Berkman. Oh, because Berkman says, like, hey, let me go inside with you guys. And then Dio is like, okay. And they're like, wait, are you sure about that? And then Berkman's like, I can tell you. I've seen the princess like 2 times.
Yeah, he's like, I seen her twice. I can properly identify her.
And during that raid, right before the torture started happening, he goes, that's her.
Yeah, it's like
that's all he contributed.
Yeah, he just looked at it, was like,
no, it's when she surrendered.
Yeah,
like, that's her.
Yeah,
that's her. So,
because that dude was supposed to kill Berkman as well.
Yeah,
put out a hit on him.
And he's like, okay,
yeah, you can come with me. It'll make things easier. I was like, huh?
And so the 2 of them start to run. Berkman and him turn down a corner. Berkman shoots the guy because he goes like, hey, was the Emperor telling you to kill me? And he's like, yeah.
It wasn't supposed to happen like this. Why does this happen to me?
Yeah.
You're supposed to die, not me.
And so Berkman shoots him, surrenders, throws his gun out there, and tells him, like, hey,
I killed this dude.
I killed this guy.
I'm seeking asylum. I'm seeking asylum, man. I can help you guys now.
Yeah. And
switch
so
sides.
He tells him about the mook.
The mook.
Yeah, the magic nuke, mook. During that final battle, Izetta has her Philosopher's Stone, and she said her final.
It's the red stone of Asia,
yeah. And
it'll help Sophie become the ultimate being.
So Izetta has her last goodbye with Fine the night before because she says, this will probably end me.
This isn't going to end well.
And it's okay because I can die knowing that I helped the people of this country and you, because I want you to live in a world where you can smile.
Make a world where everyone can smile.
Yeah. And while the Germanians had gathered everyone into a room to quote unquote do peace talks, but really show off the power of their bomb on Eldstad, They basically, it was literally the scene where Darth Vader is like, "Hey, if you guys don't submit to our plans, check out what happened to Coruscant."
It was a little different, man. It was like they showed them a test of the bomb. Like that's fake. Like, all right,
that's
here,
fake
we
news.
have
That's-
something coming up just for you, man.
That's Photoshop. That's After Effects. You guys edited that.
And then Fina comes in and it's like, "No, why haven't you guys stopped this man? He's destroying my whole country, making my people suffer." And then they're like, "Well, see, the thing is that in America and Britain, half the people think Izetta's cool, and the other people are like, no. So we can't support this witch because our country will be divided."
Yeah, magic is too dangerous for anyone to have. If Germania's gone, then you'll have magic. And we
Yeah.
just can't have
What
that.
make it so she doesn't come to America and kidnap the president and all that?
And then Fina's like, "You guys want a world without magic?" And starts to tear up. And she goes, "Fine, after this battle, there won't be any magic."
What?
And so not Fine, Izetta, I like saying the word Fine, by the way.
They use it a lot in the anime.
Izetta and
It
Sophie.
was the title of episode 11.
Fine.
Because it was final. Not final. Anyways, Izetta and
wasn't.
Sophie are flying around and basically is making like the point of the other soldiers completely moot except getting the mook ready. And they go up into the stratosphere where no one can follow them because their planes suck, and then have a spirit bomb battle.
They head over to Paris first.
Oh, yeah.
They head over to the Eiffel Tower and break that first.
they broke the Eiffel Tower. She did throw it at
Sophie. And then Sophie broke it back and threw it back at her.
Yeah. And so they have the spirit bomb battle in the sky where they're
I think it was Spirit Bomb and
It was
Revenge
not
Death
a
Bomb.
spirit bomb. It was suicide bomb.
Was it?
They're gathering all the magic and throwing at each
they're
other.
taking all of the magic in the world and gonna just shoot it
At each other.
into the space. I mean, because that you saw the beacon of light,
Well, the beacons of light, those happen for not the right reasons.
Yeah.
And so, all of the magic is taken out of Earth. The Emperor sees it too, and he's like, "Hey, does that mean there's no more magic?"
Yeah, he said that.
Guess we gotta win with blood and iron.
Yeah, he goes, "Yeah, we still got blood and iron and clones."
I guess we'll just have to do it the old-fashioned way.
Yeah. And
Suicide.
now that
Just like Hitler.
now that the mook can't be guided by Sophie to be used, their mook is moot and goes kaputs.
Were
And,
you waiting to say that? Or?
maybe. And then the United States of Atlanta joined the battle, and then they do
D-Day
D-Day.
happy.
They literally are like showing the United States of Atlanta then joined the fray on the battle of we can't say that, on a beach battle and invade from
decisive.
one side.
Do you know when D-Day was?
No, I don't.
Oh, darn.
Yeah. And then Volstagg, the country
don't
that was
either.
going to get blitzkrieg next,
Was actually Russia.
Blitzkrieg Germania. And now they're fighting a battle on two
both
fronts.
sides. Two front.
Yeah.
Oh man, this is a whole history lesson
It
here.
could have been all quiet on the Western Front, you might say.
But
But
references.
yeah. And so the Germans lose. The Emperor commits suicide.
I'm not entirely sure he committed suicide.
Oh yeah, because the
the bully. Sigurd.
I need someone to introduce me in here.
I was too busy trying to be the bully, which I am.
Here's clickbait of Shumatsu no Izetta with Sigurd.
The world is in turmoil as the Germania Empire spreads across the land. What can hold them back but two people's love and the love for their country? Join us as the last witch takes flight. Or is it really the last witch?
Man, you guys really want to spoil the last witch part, huh?
I'm just saying, is it really?
Yeah, you never know, man. How many titles have you seen that were lies?
Or how about this one?
Lots, but it's not like the so many spoilers. They're like, Krillin dies or Frieza's defeated. That's
yes,
the
it
title.
does, dude.
Or
That's
is he?
Holy shit! Episode 160 of Dragon Ball Z. Frieza defeated. Goku needs to return home.
Yeah,
Like,
that
Frieza's
was,
not even defeated yet.
yeah, that was in the title, not the description.
What's the difference?
How about this description then? All right, someone get me in here.
This week on Shumatsu no Izetta, Sigurd Raudas describes.
Hey, do you like Asuna? Or
No.
Saber? Or was your husband a Lelouch? Well, boy, do I got the protagonist for you. Join Fine on her final adventure. Izetta no Shimatsu.
All right.
I like the first one better.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah.
That's where I'm going.
It's not that I like the first one better. It's just I don't like the second one at all.
That's better. Explains it.
Would it creep you out at night if you just saw a thing go, hey,
Hey, kid.
hey, kid.
Grow big and fat.
Oh god! All right. So as always, which still has been never. Let us know in the comments or in the Twitter. Who's
Or the email.
description won this week's episode. I'm sorry. This anime
This
was so
description
serious.
won-
It was so hard to come up with something that
What do you
doesn't
mean
basically
serious,
tell
dude?
the story of World War II.
There were titties. Like 3 times.
And are you saying that those can't be serious? Those are
No.
just laugh bags to you?
They're called fun bags for a reason.
God bless it. All right, let's move on to the next part of our podcast where we actually give a rating of a good anime, a bad anime, or banime, or if it was just anime.
Which one's the good one? Which one do we want there?
What do you mean?
Which one is the rating that these animes should be aiming for?
They should be trying to be a good anime.
Yeah. Well,
A good
I'm
anime is
surprised.
I would say a good anime is an anime that we actually really liked. This was a good anime. It was enjoyable kind of thing.
I see.
Something we would probably recommend to people.
Yeah. If we were mimicking the Flophouse, which we are, when they said, is it a good bad movie, a bad movie, or a movie you actually kind of liked? The good bad movie would be like just anime, where it was good, but it was good as a bad anime. I mean, a bad
The Room.
movie. Yeah, exactly. That's a good bad movie.
You're
That's a
tearing me
good movie.
apart, Lisa.
You're tearing us apart.
I did not hit her. I did not hit her.
hi, Mark.
Hi, Mark.
Hey,
How
Johnny.
do you do?
That's me.
Gosh.
You're my favorite customer. Hey, doggy.
Stop. The movie's terrible.
It's great.
All right. So, let's let Wall go first. So, what do you think of Izetta?
Honestly, I think it's a good anime. Like animation quality, the soundtrack, characters. Like I really like all of it. It have good qualities. Like
No, tell me more.
Yeah, can
they'll tell you more.
so it's a good anime.
yeah.
Perhaps
What-
I don't
what
share
was
this
it-
sentiment with
Yeah,
you.
what was giving it a good anime rating to you?
Like I think it's one the animation, like the use of magical effects and like it looked like it didn't drop in budget or anything. Like they didn't say like, hey, put all of our budget in the first 3 episodes and let's get lazy on the last 9. It seemed pretty consistent all throughout. Story itself, I mean, the story was pretty interesting. I mean, like the princess wasn't your damsel in distress. It was she was actually a pretty strong character. Like she was willing to do anything to protect her country.
Yeah,
and
suck a man's dick.
Whoa.
what did it go that
what is
for?
it? When did she propose that?
When she said she'd marry the prince.
Doesn't mean that you would do that.
Yeah, that's exactly what
There's
it does.
plenty of sexless
She would
marriages.
rather eat tacos.
There's a lot. there's a lot of marriages just for political power where they would probably never bang. They're just like, yeah, let him have as many mistresses as he wants because he's not getting into this.
I think there's a lot of marriages where no one sucks any dicks.
Did you know in the olden times that in order to prove that someone was someone's legitimate offspring, they would just have people watch them have sex?
Whoa.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, that's the old times.
Why do you know
did
that?
not know that.
So I was reading a Reddit thread about what are history's R-rated sequels.
Oh, I think I read that one too. I didn't get to that part though.
You didn't go as far as I did.
Okay, so Wall liked it.
But yeah,
As
no,
a-
it was
he
a good
rated,
anime.
He
Yeah.
rates it an actual good anime.
And now I need to hear what Sigurd thinks about it.
Okay, for me,
Normally you go last.
I'd give it just anime.
Yeah, sounds like what he would do.
We've seen this trope of World War II, and
Not me.
I've seen this trope of World War II, and I'll give you in my recommendations where I've seen this multiple times. I did think I don't even think that the use of witches was really that special. I mean, in Code Geass they had mech suits with funnels, so it's just like, yeah, I don't know. It was just anime. It was a story of two lovers fighting. It was my description.
It was also like a good idea, like magic versus modern technology, like who will win kind of thing. Like,
yeah, I mean, I just think it could have went more, and I really do wish that there was I think what would have helped push it is
if it was like a 24 episode long.
I don't think I could take this for 24 episodes. I will say that I really did like the fact that the pace was quick enough that it could still be compelling. Because let's be honest, in a war movie like that, you probably just want to see development to the next development. You don't need to see the planning and all that kind of stuff. But yeah, I don't know. I wouldn't say that I'm a better person for watching this one, so therefore it's just anime.
Well,
how about you, Julian?
Well, I'm going to go with one of your two votes. Can we guess who?
I'm gonna say it's probably you. Probably thought it was just anime too.
Well, you probably thought wrong.
What?
'Cause I thought it was good anime.
Oh gosh! Wow.
I thought that
You were outnumbered.
Visually, it was very impressive.
Yeah, I would say the studio did not.
I don't think they had a unlimited budget like Handshakers, but what they did have was smart use of resources. The things they wanted to look nice looked really, really nice, and the things like people far off in the background looked really bad, but it wasn't something that you needed. Like when
it wasn't the main focal point.
yeah,
kind
like
of
when
thing.
anyone was in the background, like eavesdropping off of like speeches or whatever, you could see like there's no detail on them whatsoever. I thought they did it really nice there. But the backgrounds, I thought the backgrounds looked phenomenal, man. The landscapes that they drew and stuff, those were. And I thought the sickest shit was when I think it was a tank, fired a cannon at Izetta, and she took all her swords and just like crossweaved them.
Oh yeah.
Like, I was like, oh, that was so hype. The first 4 episodes were probably the hypest, and then maybe the last episode, they just had really good fights and stuff.
I think what would have.
I love Akino's songs. I love the
the opening.
I thought it was really good.
It wasn't 10,000 years, but
You hate 10,000.
I really do.
Then the ending was done by Man. I only know one other song from her. She did the Diamond Crevice from Across Frontier. That was pretty good. The cast was enjoyable. Wasn't really digging the whole lesbian relationship thing, but it was whatever.
I think that this anime could have been an animated movie, and it would have played out a lot better.
I felt that some stuff I didn't like. There was the one scene where people were like, I forget what, angry at. No, it was during the scene where Fine was protecting.
Izetta the first time.
Yeah, and she said, my magic's going to go out of control. And her little magic gauge thingy that she pops, I thought that was hella cool, too. Like her power gauge.
Yeah.
But how it was, like, going berserk and stuff. I was really hoping that would be, like, a point in the story.
I thought it'd be like Super
I think
Saiyan
that. Yeah, they didn't really mention
She'd
that,
be like
but
the
I think
Avatar and Bop, the king, the Fire Lord.
I think if anything, you probably saw that at the end because like they were both Sophie and
enveloped.
No, but that
They were
wasn't, like,
enveloped by
super
the philosopher's
berserk.
stone.
yeah, it
was
wasn't.
That
Yeah,
was just their magic stones.
Yeah.
And then Berkman surviving. Like, man, what I really like too about this anime is when they just killed people, dude.
Yeah, there was
Yeah,
It
no
wasn't, like, it wasn't,
hesitation.
like, off-screen stuff. People just get shot.
Yep, straight up.
That's cool. I felt really sad for the bodyguards in the beginning. Oh, they got murked.
So quick.
Yeah,
though.
Tobias was an idiot. I don't see why he jumped out from that thing when he could have just like put his hand out of the thing and started like
Just
firing his bun.
pop shots.
Yeah,
Yeah.
dude.
Well, I mean, Yeah, I wish that they stayed because they seemed like really cool characters.
No,
for,
I said,
Like, they
there's
could-
too many
could-
men in this anime. We gotta get bishis and girls.
I did laugh at the fact that after Herman died, there was a German soldier named Herman. Yeah, I was like, oh no, Herman.
Your
you
name
did
is
good.
Herman Merman.
And then later on, they're like, Herman, go take care of that. I'm like, wait, they just recycled that name to the enemy?
It could have been a common
Common
name.
name?
Or
How
but yeah,
many
they could.
how many Johns you know in your life?
I know a good amount of Johns.
You know.
Oh, one thing
I know more Kevins though.
Oh.
One thing I do want to mention was apparently I guess the author or the webcomic, whoever made the manga actually did like a sort of like a funny 4-coma spin-off of like it's called like Izetta on the Weekend.
Oh, that was an official thing.
It's an official thing, yeah. But it's really funny because it's like scenarios where like they failed and in the beginning of the episode on episode 1 they exploded the plane and Izetta was trying to grab Fine and like she missed and like she just fell to her head. She was like princess.
Oh, the end.
Like yeah, and it was like at the end, and then like those stuff were like she get distracted while flying on the rifle, and it was just like Fine was just like Izetta in front of you, and then it crashed into a mountain, and then it's the end.
I thought the scene where she crashed into a tree was pretty funny. She didn't even
Oh, yeah,
crash,
that's
she
it.
just got hit by it.
She wasn't paying attention, yeah. But yeah, if you're going to watch this anime, there's also that you can look up, and it's pretty enjoyable.
I will say that I think this anime was getting confused with a lot of people. Like during the season of anime, there was something about like an anime where some girl marries death, and that girl's character model looked a lot like Izetta. So I didn't know if maybe Izetta had a bunch of hype because people were getting those two anime confused.
Maybe these common anime peoples, these weeboos.
I think you're right. I think I know which one you're talking about.
I
I
have no
forgot
clue.
the
I
name,
don't
but
watch anime.
But yeah, sometimes that's misfortunate for some animes where they happen to come out at the same time and one get more popular than the other. Same with video games, really. Like
Yeah.
Cabela always like to release their video games around at the same time as like Halo.
Fighters and Marvel.
Yeah, I mean, I just think that like overall, what you guys were saying about the landscape and all that, I don't know. Maybe it's because we watch so many fantastical anime. I mean, not that this is a Studio Ghibli kind of like story, but this is like a setting and tone that Studio Ghibli could have maybe thrived in, where it's very mundane, but the whimsical still happening within the mundane.
Studio Ghibli doesn't have any plot, dude. It's basically just animation.
Yeah. All right. Okay. Until at the Ni no Kuni, but
It's basically animation.
yeah. All right. So I guess we kind of breezed right through this, but we are in our next segment where we do
Which one?
listener emails. And guess what, guys?
What am I guessing?
After 14 episodes,
I feel like we're on 14.
yeah. We're doing 14,
After 13.
After 13 episodes, we finally have our first email.
Pop, 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 pop.
Oh shit!
Get down!
We gotta move out of this
Get to the
neighborhood.
chopper!
So
Please email us a new location out of this dangerous neighborhood.
Email got emailed to? How could you reach such an email?
well, as our producer Jelly Sound always tells people, you could reach us at daijoucrew@gmail.com. daijoucrew@gmail.com, spelled DAIJOUCREW@gmail.com.
What if I send it to daijobu@gmail.com?
That will go to a person who was weaving it up in the 1990s and got that.
I don't think Gmail existed.
Oh, yeah, that would have been at AOL.com or something.
Or Hotmail.
Yeah, exactly. So it won't go to us. Daijo Crew is who we are. And yeah. Sadly, this person didn't put a subject in the email header, so it's all right.
Let's read the question.
It goes, Dear Dumpster Fire Observers, why has Siegfried... I think they're trying to spell Fried, but
No.
why has Siegfried not watched Tengen Top and Gurren Lagann yet? He seems to have plenty of time for bad anime like come across. Wow. So why doesn't he treat himself to something good for once? Best regards, Neluge.
Wow.
Wow.
Wow. Thanks, English. That is a good question. Hey, Sigurd, why haven't you
I
watched
feel
Gurren
like
Lagann?
I'm qualified to answer this question, but I'm going to let Sigurd handle it because it was addressed to him. I mean, Siegfried.
Well, Neluge. Interesting way to sign off on that email, but
He's just wishing us the best.
Why haven't I watched Tengen Toppa and Gurren Lagann? My most common answer, because the guys ask me this one a lot all the time, is just that I usually respond this way. How badly or what would you give up to be able to watch your favorite show or movie or anime for the first time again?
Remember what Griffith gave up?
No, because I don't watch Berserk.
Well, the answer's everything.
Oh God.
You ever?
I don't know. Griffith seems to take everything from the little clips that I see.
You ever seen that comic where, like, I guess the guy is holding like a block that says video game, and he's having those other block that says like sleep, work, and like play or something. It's like, I don't have enough room to play any more video game, and then you just look at sleep, and taking out that block is like, or do I? That's what you do.
Yeah. Well, I tried to watch Gurren Lagann when it was airing a long time ago.
Wow, that's crazy. You were not mature enough for it.
I probably wasn't. I was in Florida, and I knew that everyone liked this anime a lot. I was there for my cousin's wedding, and my cousin Brian and I and our family liked watching anime. And Brian was happy to have a cousin who likes anime because all my cousins are jocks, basically. And I showed him, we watched the first 2 episodes on our way to Orlando. And I'm like, this is awesome. And then the next morning, when we finally got to our hotel room, and we stayed in different hotel rooms, right? I meet up with Brian, and Brian goes like, that anime was so good. Like, thank you for showing it to me. I'm like, what do you mean? Like, we just watched 2 episodes. He goes, I finished it last night. And I'm like, you bastard.
Oh, so it had a bad taste in your...
So betrayal.
No, well, it wasn't betrayal, but it's just like...
It was betrayal.
The motivation to continue watching it just wasn't there, because I was also reading Harry Potter Deathly Hallows.
More like Harry Potter steal cigarette.
Oh, more like...
God.
Jeez. But yeah, so I don't know.
That's a sad reason.
Since then, I just never went back to it, but I know everyone truly loves that anime.
Not everyone.
No?
No, you have idiots out there, sir. Not everyone.
Like, you got those.
Not everyone can be a decent human being.
Yeah.
You got those people that they want to be cool and say like, "Oh, that's bad anime."
Yeah, I love Trump.
Like it's
wow. Don't shut us down, NSA or IRA or whatever you call yourselves.
We got freedom of speech, hopefully, for now.
Kill all of my family
Guys,
and then
it's
me.
not a political podcast, so let's move on.
Whatever,
yes, let's move
But,
on.
Do you have any other emails?
Sadly,
that was our only one.
We
So it look like we're going to move on to our next segment.
yep.
Yahoo Answers.
Yahoo Answers. So
Cool.
I'm gonna throw this out. And guys, regarding emails, as that last email showed, we don't have to answer emails about anime or about
That was clearly
Yeah,
the
anime one.
No, I meant anime that we are
Or-
watching for the episode that you don't know what anime we watched, or anything. It can be about anything. It can be about past episodes as well. So
It could be about what we think about turkey for Thanksgiving dinner, or chicken's the better choice.
yeah, so just reach out to
My
us.
family's a ham.
It'd be
kinda
nice
thing.
to hear
Yeah,
from
my family gets ham and turkey, and they eat the ham for like 3 weeks afterwards, and I don't want it. I never wanted it. I just like the skin on the ham.
Okay, thanks
I'm
for all
saying,
that
yeah.
information, guys.
Well,
But,
we got a listener email from Mr. Wah. Thought I should take it.
Well, I think that was your listener email. I just answered it.
Oh, shut up, dude.
All right, so first question: what was England's government during World War II? And then
Government?
the question is again reiterated: what was England's
God,
government
how old is the
Like,
queen right
during
now?
World War II?
I think she's pushing 90 now.
I think she's really old.
So 90.
She
Like
had
either
to-
late
So she would've
80s
been
or
born in the 30s. So she would have been around for World War II.
yeah,
Yeah,
She would have
no,
been only 10 years old.
She was actually a medic driver during World War II, if I remember. Queen
Really?
Elizabeth, I believe.
Oh God, I think she must be 100 then. But now.
She's pushing to it, but yeah, no, I think that was one of the facts. Like she actually served during World War II as like a medic
I
kind of
actually
thing.
do remember seeing that.
Yeah, but like as in like what kind of government type? I think they've been monarchy for ever almost, like for a long time.
They haven't gone away from that.
Yeah, I
think
mean, like they always had their king and queens and everything. I don't think it ever changed to like anything else.
their
That-
prime minister is just a figurehead to deal with like regular affairs. But yeah, they do have the monarchy still going, which is kind of funny to think about. If you think about like traditional government nowadays, we see a bunch of presidents and stuff like that, but you don't really hear king and think like first world.
I think they're I think they're the only one that actually like bring it to the modern age. I guess. Like, I mean, they're the one
There's
that's
plenty
like.
there's like 3 kings out there.
Does Russia have a king?
No, Russia
No,
has a
that-
czar, but now they have Putin.
But he's a prime minister, just like the prime minister of Canada.
Does
there's a
Canada
prime
have a
minister-
king?
Yeah, the Queen.
No.
Canada's still a colony of Britain.
But I think
They're not independent,
I
right?
don't
I think they
know
are.
enough about this to argue with you,
Wait,
but I'm
they are
sure
independent?
you're wrong.
Well,
Yeah, man.
Look,
Canada was always about being French, dude.
there were a lot of Frenchmen in Canada.
Oh my god.
you know, I'm gonna we should probably drop the subject before a lot of Canadians like
No,
yell at us.
hey,
No,
if-
maybe we
if
can
you guys
cause
are any-
some. Any press is good press, right?
I guess.
if you're
Hey,
from
Canadians,
Canada-
send us emails and tell us what Canadian is really about.
Man, he just took that right out of my mouth. All right.
Someone has to say
I'll
it.
put something else in there.
God. Next question. What are different types of witches? Someone says, I am learning the magic with a K arts and was wondering what type of witches there are.
You got your fire witches and your ice witches and your snow witches.
Oh, so like fairy tale.
And your fat witches and your skinny witches and
The
your old
ugly witches.
the
You got
ugly
your green witches,
You got the green witches, the blue witches,
the nice witches.
the nice witches, the mean witches, the wicked witches. There's
The
all kinds
witch,
of witches.
the witch that
Which
it's under
witches
the
do you really
house.
want to know about?
Which
You gotta
witch?
just pick a noun or verb or adjective, and we can tell you about that in detail. But there's just too many to list.
You could use the tongue twister. Which wicked witch wishes something?
Go
I don't know. I
on.
shouldn't come
Okay.
up with one on the fly. But yeah. I only know of Wiccans. They're witches.
Or druids witches?
No,
or sorceress witches.
no, sorcerers are sorcerers.
What about Maleficent? Is she a
Maleficent.
witch?
I'd call her a witch.
But she's a sorceress.
She's a sorceress,
So you just said you
but
couldn't-
she's a witch. He said sorcerer.
I thought it said sorceress.
That's what I heard. With
sorceress.
the way he ended it was bad like that one.
Okay. Yeah. Anyways, there's a lot of witches out there. Hey, witches! If you're listening to this podcast,
I mean,
let
you
us
got
know
your
what kind
last
of witch-
witches too.
Let us know what
And your
kind
white
of witch you
witches.
are. You have the witches that weren't witches.
The people who were just burning. You
Yeah.
got your
And you
fake
got-
witches.
Yeah, your fake
And you
witches.
got your sandwiches.
Oh no, I was thinking about that one actually.
Someone has to say
Witch
it.
sand.
Witch sand? Is that what you just said?
Which
Yes.
which sandwich?
Yeah.
Oh man, I don't know.
Oh, there's 2 kinds of sandwiches, guys.
A sub and a hoagie?
There's 3 kinds of sandwiches.
Peanut butter, BLT, and meatball.
There are 6 kinds of witches, guys, or sandwiches.
All right.
There's an
al-
infinite
there's
number of
also
witches.
the one with the tiny little rocks, you know, those sandwiches.
What?
What sandwich are you eating that have rocks in it?
Which are you talking about?
I can't believe I'm have to explain this. Do you guys know what sand is made out of?
Rocks.
Tiny little rocks.
Yeah.
There's witches for that. You know.
Little. I know Gara plays the sand.
Yeah, he's a witch too.
Okay. All right.
You know, sand witches. Witches with dominion over sand,
Okay, that's what you're trying to say.
not the consumable variety.
Okay, that's what I thought you were trying to say.
No. That's why there's many kinds of sandwiches.
All right. So, Jillian's like, you dumb boon companions.
You sandbagging boon companions.
Yes. All right.
Get it,
Now, I'm going to
sandbag?
test out some of your guys' World War II trivia right now. All right.
Try, man.
We're going to go straight down this. What 2 countries were already at war before the beginning of World War II? Was it A,
Austria.
Germany and Poland?
Oh.
B, Germany and France? C, Japan and China? Or D, Japan and India?
Whoa. I don't think any of those were right, but obviously
No,
I don't
no,
know.
I think I remember this.
I'm gonna go
I
with
believe-
Japan and China.
I think it's Japan and China. I
Rape
think
and Nanjing.
I'm
Wait.
realizing that the answer's not on here, so I can't tell you. I thought it was.
but I felt like it could have been Well, no,
I
Germany
mean,
and
if
Poland.
you think about it, everyone's always at war with everyone, so it doesn't really.
I would say Japan and China if we're gonna say any of those.
I feel like this person's trying to throw us a curveball. Like, why would the Japanese and Chinese fight? They're Asians.
Well, they're
Well, I
both
mean-
saying one is better than the other, which is what they always do.
Nippon Daiichi.
Sure, Russia now.
They.
Ten, 10, 10, 10, 10, 10,
Do.
10, 10, 3.
10-2.
All right. What was the longest battle of World War II? A. The Battle of the Bulge. B. Battle of the Atlantic. C. Battle of the River Plate. Or D. Battle of Midway.
I feel like it's A.
I feel like it's A or D.
So, do you guys even know what the Battle of the Atlantic or the Battle of River Plate is?
No.
I remember hearing
That's
Battle.
why I wouldn't pick this because I don't either.
Yeah, because like I think I heard of the Battle of the Atlantic, but not the
I thought
the-
Battle
I
of
feel
the
like
Bulge
Battle of
was.
the Atlantic still happens to this day
I know.
between video gamers.
That's right, Rift Rivals. NA better than EU.
That's
Battle
what
of the
results
Bulge.
proved.
Yeah, I think Battle of the Bulge was during the American War of Independence,
I don't think that.
or if that's the
I
Battle
think it
of
was
Bull
European
Run.
thing.
So I'm gonna say Battle of Midway.
I think
It's still no
Midway-
answer, or
I think Midway
That's
was
my final
actually one of the American campaigns against Japan.
All right. Since I don't have the answers, I'm gonna move on to the next
Yeah,
question.
this question sucks. You made a mistake.
Yeah. All right.
if you guys know the answer, please prove us wrong.
Please,
Witch balls. I mean, question mark.
What?
Witch balls? Does anyone have a recipe for witch balls made with devil's shoestring? I bought the devil's shoestring several months ago, but can no longer find the recipe. So, does anyone know how to make witch balls?
Can you repeat that question one more time?
Does
So I can-
anyone have a recipe for witch balls made with devil's shoestring? I bought the devil's shoestring several months ago, but can no longer find the recipe.
Is Witch Ball the one where you like make the cake and then you like crumple up and make it into a tiny little ball? Or is that Cake Pops?
I think those are cake pops.
Uh,
I've never heard of witch balls.
I never heard of it either. That's a totally new thing for me.
I think if I had to make cake, do you guys know what devil's shoestring is?
No.
No.
All right, so if I was gonna make this from scratch, right? Devil's food cake is chocolate cake, like super moist, right? So you make little strings out of that of devil's food cake, and then you would get like green sugary frosting, and then sprinkle the chocolate cake on the green frosting, and then
Sprinkle
roll
chocolate cake.
Yeah, like you would grab and just be like, crumpling. This is great
Okay.
podcasting. You would kind of like, that doesn't work either. You would just kind of like sprinkle the chocolate cake on top of the green thing, and then maybe roll it in fondant, put it in a blast chiller, and then be done with it.
So
be
it sound
green
like
fondant.
it sound like you were making a cake but more work.
Well, I
Or
mean,
like a
that's
cake
what-
pasta kind of thing, if anything.
That's like that's what like Cake Boss does, you know.
I
I think what you have to do is take a warlock and get them transgender, so them a witch, and what is left over that's not a part of the witch is a devil's shoestring and some witch balls.
Witch balls. Okay. So that's how you. So this person already has the shoestring,
but not the balls.
but they didn't get the witch balls.
I don't think
well,
so.
he just need the recipe for the witch balls, and then he can complete it.
I think the recipe is you take a witch and a warlock, lock them in a room, bake it for 9 months, and then get the materials, but then you have to grow them more.
Ew. This is gross, dude.
You're the one who picked a stupid question.
I thought maybe it was a food you guys knew.
No.
No? Well, how would you make witch balls?
To get ground beef, get salt, pepper, and maybe like what's those other spicy oregano, parsley. Like make them into a little ball, fry them up, serve it with like mozzarella or marinara, and they call it witch balls.
Yeah, no, I like where you're going with the meatball ideas, but instead, after you cook the meatballs, I would coat them in candy corn.
Ew. That sounds terrible.
But it sounds like a witch ball.
Yeah.
Wait, whole candy corn or actually like crush them up?
I'm
And
not sure which.
Isn't
I think it's
candy
better
corn
if we
like a gummy.
kind
No.
of well, not
corns are
gummy,
hard?
but it's I wouldn't say hard, but it's
Candy corn is like sugar you kind of got a little wet and then just pressed together
Oh.
pretty much.
and waxy.
But it's
Yeah.
it's definitely
I
not.
love candy corn.
It's definitely not something you want to eat whole, especially inside a like meatball. I'd probably recommend
You don't
crumping
know
up.
good food.
You're the one that decided to put like ground beef and candy corn together.
Or Slim Jims cup of noodles.
Slim Jims and cup of noodles is fire.
Yeah. All right, next
You
question.
should
here.
eat spam raw.
Barrage balloons.
Spam is not raw; it comes pre-cooked.
Barrage balloons protection. With our state of the art targeting, how would you ever protect a structure from modern missiles? I was trying to figure this out, and voila, I have why could. And then when Moa submitted this, he didn't do the show more, so I don't know what they said.
Oh
Okay,
well,
so
I kind of kept that so like we can possibly talk about barrage bullet, but it's
wow, no. No
I
one's talking about
I forgot to tell you we could probably skip that question.
I actually just learned about this.
Mm-hmm.
What you can do is you have to start. Actually, this is a really long prep time. You need to make friends with a witch, and after a while, you guys are really good friends, and you tell that witch to defend your country,
Mm-hmm.
and that witch can just shoot down the missiles.
Only if you give the witch some things to shoot them down with, though.
Witch balls.
No. She can just take whatever.
So are you telling me what Izetta and Sophie made up the last episode were witch balls, maybe?
No. One of them wishes they had witch balls.
I mean, clearly, if Fine didn't bring anything, so she didn't have any witch balls on her.
We just took the question that we were trying to answer, went right back to witch balls. All right, next question.
It's not a tumor.
What kills a witch? Vampires, you use wood. Werewolves, you use silver. What do you use to kill a witch?
Fire.
Yeah.
So you're telling me if I rap hard enough at a witch,
Oh yeah.
You
Well,
guys spit
That could
it,
kill
man.
anyone, to be honest.
because it's straight fire?
Yeah, you know. I mean, fire is dangerous to anything. Fire destroys. I'm pretty sure bleach would probably also kill a witch
Yeah.
if you just like force it down their throats.
I think also holy water.
I don't know,
too?
because I mean they could just expel it.
You know,
with
I'm
their
pretty
witch
sure
powers.
witches are not like strong in the physical aspect of things.
Hell, I think you can even get the Spanish Inquisition and as well.
So
Yeah.
Catholicism is what you.
I think you'd shoot a witch.
Does that
Well,
ever get shot at?
Yeah,
She gets shot at, but she always avoids
well,
it.
Dio tried to shoot at
I
her,
mean,
but
you
then
know-
she blocked it with a brick.
Oh.
Someone even almost got offed by a jug of water.
Well, true.
So
Oh, water kills witches. That's how they did
I
it
think-
in Wizard of
yeah,
Oz.
drowning kills a lot of things.
No, they melt. Why didn't Izetta melt? That maid should have been like, "Oh, I messed up. I tried to wash her." That's why she was so grungy looking all the time. She never bathed.
Well, I guess if you're a wicked witch, the
Oh, the
water,
Yeah.
water gets you.
'cause
You
it's
know
pure
what else
water.
kills witches?
What?
Witch balls.
If they choke on them?
No, 'cause-
If not properly
so
ate.
Sophie and Izetta were totally shooting witch balls at each other. Besides making the giant witch ball.
Oh, is that what that? They weren't spear bombs or revenge death
no,
balls. It was witch
no,
balls.
the little ones. Yeah, those were witch balls.
Oh,
Not made with devil's shoestring, but just made out of pure energy.
that's weird. They called them exenium in the subtitles.
That's what the Germans called them, but the real name was witch balls.
Their authentic name?
Yeah, it was actually witch balls. All right, guys. I think that's enough for Yahoo Answers today.
Great memeing.
It's enough balls.
That's enough witch balls. Let's go into our last segment, which is
Let's not. Let's just cut the segment forever.
nope, anime recommendations. Just to cleanse your palate a little bit. If you guys do want to watch an anime that is similar but actually good, you can listen to these recommendations.
Actually, you know what? Something earlier in the podcast reminded me. I do have an anime to recommend.
good.
A
You're
listener
gonna go
email.
first?
Yeah, that listener email talked about Tengen Toppa Gurren Lagann. I think that's a fantastic anime to watch.
Why did you expect anything different?
How relate it to this, please?
Well, you see, it's a story of a young, unsure person going off into the world.
Fina was pretty sure.
I'm not talking about Fine. I'm talking about Izetta, who was clinging on to her same-gendered accomplice. Well, I wouldn't call them sisters. and she rises against authority, trying to be oppressed by the German spirals, and eventually makes a really, 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 really big technique against the other thing in their final battle in the air. As everyone's watching.
I think it would have been better for you to have recommended Kill a Kill.
No, I don't think so.
Just for the sake of...
Listen, this segment sucks for me because I don't have anime to keep digging from.
okay.
My toy box is empty. I have like 5 toys because I'm poor.
You know what?
No, you're not poor. You're just picky. You're just like, I hate this one. I don't like this one. These are the only toys I need.
They are. I've seen everything there is to see.
How about instead of anime recommendation for you for some reason, how about you build up your repertoire first of all?
No, because I don't have time for more terrible doo-doo anime.
Okay, how about you recommend games or...
Do you think I play any other game besides Final Fantasy right now?
Chili, you don't have much to offer, do you?
I don't.
You gotta step that up.
I do not need to step that up.
Get your
I
game
am
on.
fine where I am.
Get your game on.
No, dog.
Then I will continue to love to see how you relate Tengen Top and Girl in the God.
All right,
That'll be our new segment.
That's it. I
So-
will just relate it.
So
I will
me and
show you the parallels.
me and Sega would have anime recommendation, and we'll ask Julian why Tengen Top and Gren Login is so good.
That's the future of our podcast, guys.
Yes,
Don't expect
I am
anything
a
else.
champion for Tengen Toppa.
All right.
I will duel for them.
Should I go
Die for
next, or do you want to go, Wa?
Up to you. I'll go next.
Okay.
Up to you. I'll go next. Wow. Dang, you really gave him a choice.
All right, go ahead, Wa.
For the magical spectral one, I guess I will recommend Magical Girl Ilya.
Okay.
Or Face Say Ilya. That's what it's called. You know, for magic type, like, that's a pretty good magical girl anime. For like the World War II kind of.
Whoa, can we just do one, please? Can't be overloading our viewers.
No, they'll like this one. It's called Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood.
I actually did think a lot about Full Metal.
Oh,
when I
but
was-
look at that. As you
when I was
recommended
watching
Tengen Top and Girl in the
Yeah.
God.
Whatever. But no, I don't care.
And are holding a coin to be Roy Mustang or Railgun right now.
What?
What? What?
I don't know what that has to do with Mustang. But yeah, no. I actually agree with you. Like, this is very the time that it took place.
It's
very
kinda-
similar.
yeah.
The train scene just gave me like whoa. Am I
It's
watching Full
pretty
Metal?
similar. Like they have like their made up country having wars.
It's not made up. Those are real countries. They just butchered the names because they're Japanese.
And then you got your individual people that have like superpowers that are winning the war basically. But yeah, I mean, we can throw in.
The setting just reminded me of Full Metal. Like as we were nearing the end of Izetta, I thought to myself, man, Full Metal is really good. But it was like 50 episodes. I wonder if Izetta could be that good with 50 episodes.
For myself, I also have 2 anime.
Oh my god, you guys!
if
Why
you
do I
want-
even need to bring one if you guys have 2 each?
Because we
have to make it up for yours. Yeah.
You know my Slack. I'm gonna pick up anything, dude.
So for the first one, I'll do an anime that has to deal with war that is also like pseudo real world.
Aldo Zero.
This one actually,
No, we recommend good anime.
like right before I stopped watching anime, I watched this one. Code Geass. They had Lelouch v Britannia, which they said Britannia a lot in this anime of Izetta. So
Lulu.
I really loved Kaylin, who was a strong female lead in Code Geass. I can't remember if it's Kylan or Kaylin.
Karen or
Karen.
I think it was Karen.
Yeah.
Karen.
Red hair girl.
Yeah, I think it was Karen. So Karen.
Yeah, and Code
Kallen.
and Lelouch
She had like 2 variants of her name, didn't she? Like when she
I always
was-
seen the R, the one with the R. I guess that's the one I always see. I guess.
I think it's Colin. Kallen.
I think it's Colin.
I mean,
as
in
well,
Japan,
but-
Who am
R.
I? Who am I to argue?
Who am I either? I've only seen the last, first, and third episodes of Code Geass.
It's okay. No, but Lelouch also has his own witch in CC.
Season 3 hype.
So yeah, I mean, I'm excited for season 3. I would love to see how this anime ages. But
Furikuri
the
seasons 2
one
and
that
3.
like here's an example, Julian, of video games. This one was a video game originally that I absolutely loved, and honestly, I think that if I stream, this will probably be one of the first games that I stream since it's on Steam now. But it also had an anime, and
Bayonetta?
no,
Beautiful Joe.
no,
That's not
Valkyria Chronicles, which
Oh.
a new game for it is coming out, which changes the formula a bit. But in the first Valkyria Chronicles, we have Welkin, who is
That was the first one.
Welkin.
That was the first one.
That's number one.
Oh my god! I thought Valkyria Chronicles was a series before that. The PS3 one, right?
Yeah.
Oh my god! Wow.
Yeah. And so we have Welkin, who is a commander, also known as, well, he was a biologist at first, and that really resonated with me considering that I was studying biology. But the way they were doing biology is completely different than us, and the fact that to study it, apparently you just had to find plants and draw pictures of them.
Good enough.
Yeah, apparently. But they joined into a war against, I can't remember the name of the enemy, but it was an empire that was using crystals and the powers of an ancient fairy tale, or the Valkyrie, to destroy all of the other empires. But they started off with they had a Valkyrie to begin with, and their emperor was obsessed with his Valkyrie because he's like, dude, my Valkyrie's the best. The heroes, were they the 13th company or 7th company? Either way,
Welkin's bad luck.
Welkin's people ended up having a Valkyrie of their own to combat against their Valkyrie.
Oh man, spoilers.
But I won't tell you who it was.
I think I know who it was.
That's great, Julian. But
I think I got that far.
in the end, they do have their own anime, and to me this seemed exactly like Valkyria Chronicles, except instead of Valkyrie, they're witches. So, yeah, that's my recommendation.
Cool.
Yeah.
Did you know that in Valkyria Chronicles they had Vice and Aika from Skies of Arcadia as grunt soldiers?
I did not know that.
Yep.
Huh.
They're in your platoon or whatever.
I think that I need to replay that game.
I
The
think
problem
so,
is
too.
that number 2 was on PSP, and it's like super godly hard to find. And then they had it on the PS Vita store for a little while, but then for some reason they took it away. And I'm like, how am I supposed to play 2 now?
Oh, you want to play it? I'll hook you up.
Oh, that'd be awesome. And then number 3 was in Japanese only, which makes me super sad.
Which one? There's one on PS4.
That one was the remastered of Valkyria Chronicles 1.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
It was like Valkyria Retribution. I just saw it at Fry's today.
Oh, wait. Retribution? It came out?
Yeah.
Oh, that's the newest one.
Oh, then
Yeah.
sure, that's
Oh,
out.
I want to
Okay.
play
I
that.
saw
Yeah.
I saw Valkyria Chronicles.
Yeah.
So I got
I'm not too familiar with Valkyrie Chronicles, so if you ever stream it, I'll watch it.
I honestly think that it's a game that you would really enjoy yourself too. So I know you do stream. You can watch our Daijo crew members stream. Someday Julian will get back on there. But
Right now,
Maybe I'll do it once Omega Savage opens up. The Delta Escape version.
let's see. Right now, I'm kind of working on the Yakuza series. I might take a break from it and might actually stream Danganronpa.
hey, nice. Shout outs to Koopa or Vast Koopa, a member of the FGC anime people in SAC. He got famous because he was doing Danganronpa playthroughs during his college days at UC Davis.
Oh, really?
Where he was doing punishment games for himself. If he did bad choices, he would like have to take a shot, and then also like film himself doing other punishment games that people would like suggest to him, like run around the dorm in his like towel or something like that.
No, I'm not doing any punishment. If I make a bad choice, I make a bad choice.
All right. But yeah, you can catch Vase Coop on the Finest KO network. They do a lot of other indie games and platformers as well as Storytell games.
Is he
Also,
giving
shout
you
out
money?
to Chun. No, these are
Are
just
these people
friends.
giving you money? I think they need to be giving us money if we're gonna shout them out.
Well,
like
they're
this.
my friends and they're at Evo right now.
Yeah, well,
they get to
they're not
cast a
here on
little bit
this
as well.
podcast. You can't give them free publicity just like that.
Yes, I can. Watch
No,
me.
no, 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 no.
So-
As the main Boone host, I think he have a choice of what he can do and what he can't.
But I do think
Well, I
that...
hope you live with the punishment game you're about to suffer.
Okay. Why are you playing footsies with me? When you say punishment game, I'm about to suffer. Anyways, yeah, so check out for Wah and hopefully for Julian one day.
I
And
was
then
the
myself.
first one to stream.
I know you were the first and you were really good at it. So that's why I hope for your return.
Cool.
But
I don't think you're right
think
about that second one.
that I will sign us off here, and we'll see you guys next time.
What? We have no more segments to go through?
Nope, no more segments.
Oh, darn.
It's time for us to make some witch balls.
No, I don't know.
What was that?
That's like one of her Izetta's theme when she does something. Like,
Oh, do you know, like, I was gonna say about that soundtrack stuff, when they're doing the whole, like, it makes me think of how, like, the new meme for hero movies is that.
oh yeah. That one is just like
Yeah, exactly.
No clue.
You made it to the end of the first episode of Season 2 of this crazy bad anime adventure. I'm producer Jellysound, and when the crew handed me this episode, they told me it was a period-accurate World War II story. We're no longer on speaking terms. If you'd like to correct the Daijo crew on their knowledge of basic history or civics, or explain what a constitutional monarchy and a parliamentary democracy are, you can email them at daijocrew@gmail.com. They're also on Facebook and Twitter at Daijo Crew. There's gotta be a cross-section of anime enthusiasts and history buffs, and I'm counting on you to write in. That's all for now. Thanks for listening.